The other thing that happens when you listen to this is you go into a very deep altered state. Your brain makes all these very pleasurable neurochemicals, and you feel high. And after you're done, you feel high. And I've had people 24 hours after trying this call me up, and say, how long am I going to feel this way? 24 hours later. Sometimes it kind of fades after maybe 20 minutes or something. But after a while, it becomes your experience all the time. You just feel really good. Your brain is making all the neurochemicals that are associated with happiness and peace and feeling great. And meanwhile, your threshold for what you can handle is going higher and higher and higher and higher. And all dysfunctional feelings and behaviors like anger, fear, sadness, anxiety, depression, substance abuse, all that stuff, and a lot more, we could make a longer list, all that stuff is things that you do when you're pushed over your threshold, whatever it is. Your threshold is the place where you start to focus on what you don't want. And I've already, I think, demonstrated how important that is. So as your threshold goes higher and higher and higher, your tendency to focus on what you don't want, which is poison, goes away. And pretty soon you get to the point where almost nothing can push you over your threshold. So you don't focus on what you don't want, hardly ever, if at all, and you develop that witness posture that I was talking about, and you feel great. And you quit making the world into this warring dualities, which it really isn't. It just looks that way when you process it through the mind. So does that give you more of a feeling of what this is about? It's a progressive program where you can go through one level at a time, and you can decide after every level whether you want more or whether you don't. Most people go on. After people have gone through maybe 4 or 5 levels, I think that 80 to 90 or something % of those people finish the entire program. Because by then they really can see, wow, this really does something. They actually start at 5:42. Well, maybe somebody could ask them if they could go in the other room and instead of that room, although we could do it with that too. We don't need to make that wrong and fight against that. We don't have to make quiet as white and saxophone in the background is black and white must win. We could do that, but then to the degree you do that, you suffer. So there's lots of information about holosync on our website. If you can go there, and if you filled out one of those little survey things that I left around, we're going to send you a whole bunch of stuff and a sample CD and all that in the. Yes.
Without the silent affirmations, how effective?
Very effective. The silent affirmations are an add-on. The main driver of this is holosync. I just figured the reason we added the affirmations was because, hey, look, you're in a very suggestible, deep, altered state where your unconscious mind is much more open to suggestion. Why not talk to yourself in the most optimal way during that time? In the deeper levels, we also have a soundtrack called Floating that you listen to with these affirmations on it while you sleep, so that while you're naturally going into these slower, more open brain waves, you're getting that subliminal reinforcement too.